G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the Arsehole? On today's first story, OP wonders if they should send an email to their estranged half-sister because they were the golden child and the sister was the scapegoat for all of the parents' problems as a child. If you like that kind of content, I want you to sit back, relax, chug up one of the Barbie, and let's just get into it. Would I be the arsehole if I send an email to my half-sister? My elder sister is estranged from us. She was the scapegoat and I was the golden child. I was a spoiled brat and I rubbed it in. She was still a great elder sister. She was there for when I needed it and she protected me when I screwed up. I didn't deserve that at all. She cut us all off when I was 17. She had written me a letter where she explained that she loved me, but she couldn't have me in her life without my presence reminding her of how shitty they were to her. It has been 8 years now. I have respected her wishes because I have truly started to understand how horrible our parents were, and I am sure I will never properly get how bad it was for her. I have wanted to see how she was doing. I have heard about her from mutual friends. I really miss her, but I understand why she wants the distance. She was always compared to me. She was constantly criticized about things that were not in her control. I was a little crap and I loved how much they cared about me. They adored me while trampling down on her. It must have been hell. Pure hell for her, and I was the tool they used to hurt her. Last month, my boyfriend had a Zoom company conference. I was dropping off some snacks for him when I saw that it was my sister speaking. It brought back a lot of memories. I really miss her. I really do. I've been thinking about her a lot. I want to send her an email asking her how she has been, telling her I realized how shitty my parents were and apologizing for my actions and that I've cut them out of my life too. I just want to tell her that I really wish that she is happy and that she was able to move past the hurt that they caused. I really hope that she is happy and I want her to be happy even if I have no place in her life. Would that be too much? I talked to one of our mutual friends who knew some of what went down, and she thinks that it would be too much, and that I should just move on and forget about it. I still want to send it to her. I know it is selfish, I should just ignore all these emotions and let her live in peace. That mail could drag back so many bad memories, and I don't want to hurt her again. I still want to send it to her. That is what makes me an arsehole here, I feel. I want to try to text her when she told me not to. Now in the comments, no arseholes here. If you send a caring email with no guilting or expectation of contact, she is within her rights to not respond or to reiterate her "don't contact me" boundary. But you are within your rights to ask, in my opinion, as the elder estranged sister of golden child siblings. She might never be okay to see you again, and that sucks, but that's not on you. That will be what your parents have put on you, the repercussion that you have to carry, like your sister carries her trauma. Exactly this. Not the arsehole for wanting to make contact, but do it with zero expectations of her responding or resuming contact with you. She also won't be an arsehole if she reinforces her boundaries about being no contact. I hope OP's sister appreciates the sentiment for her caring, so they are definitely not an arsehole for that too. The sister can simply not reply, and that is valid too. Not the arsehole. One email with all of your contact information, and letting her know that you have also disowned your parents and that you clearly see what they did to her and how damaging it was. Tell her that you apologize for your actions. Let her know you love her and miss her and want to be a part of each other's lives whenever she is ready. If she feels, it should be joint therapy or coffee at a local shop. Tell her you will not attempt to contact her again after this. 8 years is a long time. I think the fact that you are wanting to express remorse, hoping that she is happy, and not trying to push your way back into her life, but accepting that you may never have a place in her life, would not make you an arsehole for sending her a message 8 years on. No arseholes here. You certainly were one in the past, but doesn't sound like you are now. And now on to the update. I received a lot of very helpful advice. I wrote a short email telling my sister that I wished her well, I apologized for my behavior when we were living together, and told her that I'd cut off our parents and that I would love to be a part of her life if she wants me to be, but I do understand if she doesn't want me to. I sat on it for a week and sent it to our mutual friend. She read the email and she said that she had talked about it with my sister and she was willing to read it. Nothing happened for 2 weeks, but then she started to follow me on Instagram. I got so excited that my boyfriend was worried about me for a second. I have a photography page and she liked a really old photo, so I know she was browsing my account. She texted me a day later and we finally talked. I talked to her after 8 years. It was pretty emotional and yeah, it was fine. She's coming over to meet me next month. I'm excited for it. She hasn't really changed and it makes me feel terrible. The first thing she asked me was how they treated me after she left, and I don't know how I was so terrible to this wonderful woman. It is funny. She ended up being the perfect daughter that they wanted me to be, and I ended up being a bi-college dropout with a career in flighty art stuff. Funny how that turned out. And now in the comments, I don't remember your original post, so I went back and read it. I was in your sister's position. My little sister was the golden child. I was until our older sister left, then I became the scapegoat, and I left her a letter when I finally broke free of that toxic place. Eventually, she wrote me a very long email apologizing, and what was even better, with understanding from my point of view. We talked it out over a series of emails, and then phone calls, and now years later, my sister is the only person from my blood-related family that I actually like and love. I'm really happy for you and your sister. It sounds like it's going to be a wonderful start over for the both of you. I had to cut my younger sister off until she was old enough to start making connections. I'm so grateful for the relationship we have today. We are both no contact with our abusive parent, and she has made leaps and bounds of progress socially and emotionally. I am so proud of her. Here is to siblings surviving bullcrap together. I'm happy things worked out so well. It's refreshing seeing that you were able to self-reflect on your actions, and that it led to being able to reconcile. And I hope you're able to build your relationship with your sister, and that from now on, you two are able to really be the family each other needs. My best wishes to you. Our next post is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Cousin the Truth? My cousin, 19 male, is the only son my aunt has with her late husband. He died before my cousin was born, so cousin never met him. My aunt is a nice lady for the most part, but she doesn't like to bring up her husband. Part of the reason is that the day he died, they had gotten into an argument over keeping my cousin. She wanted to abort, and he didn't. He left the house angry and was hit by a drunk driver on his way to his mother's house. The other reason is that she lied to her husband's side of the family, saying she went through with the abortion so they would leave her alone. I don't know why she did this, but that's what she did. And because of this, my cousin never knew anyone from his dad's side of the family. We were told never to tell him the truth because it would hurt his mum and because he was a minor, so we had to respect my aunt's wishes. Fast forward to yesterday, my cousin came over to my house to play video games since he was visiting from out of town. We got to talking, and he mentioned wishing he knew more about his dad. I asked if he ever thought about reaching out to them. He said his mum said they never wanted to meet him. I sighed, placing my controller down and looking at him. I was tired of hiding the truth from him because my aunt didn't want to deal with whatever her issue was. I looked at him and told him his mum wasn't being completely honest. I told them that his dad's side of the family doesn't even know he's alive because his mum told them that she had aborted him. He laughed, saying to stop joking, and I told him I wasn't. He looked at me, processing what I said. He got up and said he had to talk with his mum. A couple of hours went by when I hear my mum yelling from her room. I had blocked my aunt's number just in case. I went and asked her what was wrong when she started yelling at me for being honest with my cousin and telling him the truth, and now he was threatening his mum with never speaking to her again unless she can find a way for him to contact his dad's family. I told her that I was tired of her hiding behind her lies and hearing my cousin sigh about not knowing his dad. My mum said it wasn't my place, which I agree, but said that he would have eventually found out, and when he did, it would have been all of us, not just his mum being thrown aside because of it. She told me I didn't understand what I had done. I sighed and left the argument as it was. I know I may very well be an asshole for that, but I was just tired of his whining about not knowing his dad. Besides, he's 19. He has a right to know as an adult. At least I waited. So Reddit, Am I the asshole? And edit, I will add this just because I feel like it'll clear up why I was so annoyed with the situation and the whining. My cousin has come to me and other cousins crying because he never knew his dad, that he felt like his dad's family didn't love him, and that he was worth less because of this. We had asked the adults in our life to talk to my aunt, but were met with no kind of action. I was just fed up with the whole lie because I had seen him suffer because of it. I know I was probably really cold afterwards, but that was because I was just done with the whole situation in general. I know this won't change anyone's opinion, but this is my only defense to why I was tired of his whining and my aunt's lie. I'm gonna say fair enough to that situation. I don't think he's whining. I can see why OP thinks that is whining, but that is a big gaping hole in one's life that you want answers to, yet no one around you wants to fill you in and tell you the real reason. And also, I'm sure that 19-year-old has picked up on people's body language and eye movements when he brings up this situation. I'm sure it's possible to not pick up on those things and be completely oblivious, but I find it hard to believe that a 19-year-old, every time he asks about his dad, is just brushed off, or people feel uneasy and stop talking so much, because I'm imagining that is what happens in these situations. How everyone manages to keep a secret for 19 years, I am perplexed. I feel like he deserved to know a lot sooner than that, and I feel terrible for this child that he had to find out at 19 years old. Gonna say not the asshole for this one, OP. You might have pissed a lot of family members off, but at the end of the day, I think you did the right thing. So I'm going not the asshole for this one. Now in the comments, I'm going to go with everyone sucks here, other than your cousin. It wasn't really your secret to tell, especially when your logic is, I was tired of his whining. But your aunt shouldn't have lied either. And you could have just said, dude, you were 19, an adult. You don't need mum's permission to look up your dad's family. Just be careful because you don't know what went down between them and your mum, and it might end up a bit awkward. Or you could have told him that he needs to talk to his mum about why dad's family has been no contact, and then you could have been there to support him in that. Perhaps literally there with him when he talked to his mother. Sort of asshole? It really wasn't your place to say anything. Your aunt is the true asshole for not being truthful with her child his entire life. Regardless of how she feels, she deprived him of knowing family that would have probably liked to know him. Plus the fact that she lied through his entire life. It is just not right. At 19, the point of not his place to say anything has passed. The cousin isn't a minor, and OP doesn't have a responsibility to be endlessly complicit in maintaining a lie. I still agree with your judgment, because being annoyed is a real bad reason to drop that kind of bombshell. I totally agree. It's not OP's responsibility to keep up his auntie's lie. OP and cousin should have never been put in this situation to begin with. It's all around just screwed up beyond belief. I was going to say you're the asshole until you mentioned he was 19, so not the asshole. He deserves to know the truth. Good for you. And now on to the update. So I just got back from my aunt's house and I feel exhausted, but I honestly feel better, so I thought I would update you on what happened. After I made my post, I saw some comments about it not being my place or my responsibility to tell him the secret, and how I was rather cold in how or why I told him. So I decided to call him to ask if I could talk to him. He agreed, and we met up today to talk. We sat down, and I apologized for just dropping the bombshell of a secret on him, because I had gotten fed up with not only his whining, but the entire thing in general. He let me finish before talking. He admitted he was hurt that I kept the secret, but he understood why I didn't tell him sooner. He mentioned that he and his mum weren't on speaking terms, but he was scared to proceed with actually contacting his father's family. I asked him why, and he told me his mum was scared of them. Apparently some of you were right. After my uncle died, my aunt's in-laws' family went from very kind people to very cold and harsh. They blamed her for their son/brother's death and demanded that she have his child so they could have a part of him alive. My aunt was angry and hurt at them that they demanded she give them my cousin, that she lied and said that she already aborted him. After that blowout, she moved back to where she lived and decided she didn't want him to deal with them and didn't want them to poison my cousin's mind. She wanted to tell him, but she was afraid that he would hate her. After he told me that, I told him I would stand by him no matter what he chose to do, but to talk with his mum soon. She had what sounds like a valid reason to not contact them. He said he would think about it. I left and decided to stop by my aunt's house and apologize to her as well. I got to see her house and she looked surprised to see me. I apologized to her and said that I acted extremely out of line and that I would take any punishment she saw fit. She just smiled and said that it wasn't needed. She thanked me for the apology, but also didn't blame me as I was still young and I'm learning. I'm 22. She also understood that it was wrong of her to keep the secret for so long out of fear, no matter how genuine it was. I mentioned talking to my cousin and encouraging him to talk with her. She thanked me and said that this would take time to heal, but it was better to get it out now than later when it would hurt more. So there you have it. I apologized to the both of them, and I found out why she had been keeping the secret so long. I want to thank all of you for your comments regarding how I could have better handled this, and to open my eyes to what I did wrong the first time around. Edit, I feel I have to add this, but after my talk with my aunt, I asked my mum one of the few directly involved people. My grandpa and one other uncle were involved as well. Grandpa has passed, but my uncle was also confirmed. If what she said was true. She told me she wasn't lying, that she did love her husband, but his family didn't really approve of her. So when he died, they dropped the niceties and, well, you know what happened. So yes, I can confirm with 2 other relatives that she wasn't lying about what happened. And now in the comments, congratulations on navigating your way out of a precarious situation in a way that respects everyone involved. I think that now the truth is out, everyone is in a better place to come to terms with what happened. OP replies, me too. I just hope his dad's family isn't going to cause too many problems. Apparently they didn't like my aunt from the start, and were only nice since their son loved her. I'm really glad to see that both your cousin and your aunt weren't mad at you, accepted your apology, and even understood why you did what you did, and went so far as to say that it was probably for the best, and now they'll focus on dealing with the issue. I was afraid that your aunt would be really mad at you or something. OP replies, me too. I was ready to get punished for that, but she was just glad to have the truth out, and we'll work on it and see how things go. It really says a lot about her, in a good way, that she reacted the way she did to your apology. Getting the truth out hurts, but it's better in the long run. And that's where I'm going to end the episode, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed. If you did, tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below. As always, I go and check those comments section, and it's lovely to see that there is such a thriving community down below. Man, there are some wonderful comments, but there's always some comments. But I do come and drop a heart react from time to time. It's great to see everyone at the start of the video when I'm going to bed, and in the morning I just give a little scroll through and I'm like, wow, this is some interesting commentary. You guys are pretty cool. So yeah, thank you for interacting with the page, for having a chat with me, even though I don't always respond to everyone. But I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.